This is Acts chapter 21 through to chapter 22, verse 2. Remember, Paul, he's been carried into the barracks of the Roman barracks because of this riot that's happening in Jerusalem. He's been dragged out of the temple. They've closed the doors. The people are ready to beat him, though they are beating him. And because of the riot, the Roman soldiers come and get the peace by getting Paul out of there, and they carry him into the barracks. And as he's in the barracks, as Paul was about to be brought into the barracks, he said to the commander, "May I say something to you?" And he said, "Do you know Greek? Then you're not the Egyptian who some time ago stirred up a revolt and led the 4,000 men of the assassins out of the wilderness." But Paul said, "I am a Jew of Tarsus in Cilicia, a citizen of no insignificant city, and I beg you, allow me to speak to the people." And when he had given him permission, Paul, standing on the stairs, motioned to the people with his hand. When there was a great hush, he spoke to them in the Hebrew dialect, saying, "Brethren and fathers, hear my defense, which I now offer to you." And when they had heard that he was addressing them in Hebrew dialect, they became even more quiet. And he carried on. So there's Paul. He's on the steps just to getting out of the riot, out of danger. And he said to the commander, "May I speak to you?" And he says, "Do you know Greek?" The commander says, "Oh, do you know Greek? Well, you can speak to me if you can speak in Greek." And he says, "Of course." And he says, "Because I'm a Jew. I'm not an Egyptian, as you might have thought. I'm a Jew. I'm from Tarsus in Cilicia. I'm a citizen of that city, and here I am." And he says, "I beg you, let me just speak to the crowd." And fair dues to the man. He lets him speak to the crowd, and he speaks to them in Hebrew, and everybody hushes as he's gone throughout Asia Minor and Achaia and Macedonia. Perhaps he's only spoken Greek, but now he's speaking Hebrew. He's speaking their language. He's going to speak to them, and the Lord is going to be speaking to many of those people to turn to the Lord. And that's what he goes on, and we'll look at that in a moment.